Guys, welcome back to the channel. Got a ST1300 here. Now what it is that I actually knocked the indicator cover off, and what we have like a retaining strap here, but it must have broken or even pulled out. If you look where the wires are, you can see that little slit just here. It actually fits in there and retains it. However, that must have either broken. I probably think it actually came off. So what I did, I made a new retaining strap from a zip tie, and all I did is I took it to the right length, and I just drilled a little hole in there for the retaining screw. And what I did, I used some epoxy resin because I don't want that to happen again, and I just put a bit of epoxy resin on the end bit of it, and when I slip that in, it epoxied in so it's fast. That won't move now. Okay, so I bought some new indicator casings as well, and of course they came in pairs, so I just needed one, but got in pairs. So what I did is I put I already put the new one on this side, on the side that were actually okay, and that's looking all right. I definitely wanted the amber reflectors here, because what I find, I don't know if you guys find the same, but sometimes you cannot see, the white, the right white reflector with the orange bulb at the back here. I don't seem to be able to see them sometimes, and on a motorbike you certainly want people to see where you're going. So I decided to, instead of getting the clear ones, I got the amber ones just for safety. So the wiring loom that came with it, actually there was no wiring loom that came with it, so I had to buy some new ones. And of course I made up a loom just to make it a little bit longer, and I lengthened it as well. And what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to, I had to cut the connectors off it, because the connectors that we'd got didn't marry up with the ones that came with this. So I decided that what I'm going to do is, instead of looking around for other plugs and what have you, I thought that I would just solder this to here. The reason I'm soldering that to there and not putting like little other little connectors, push-on connectors, is that if this ever happens again, I'd much rather that the wiring loom held the cover, rather than the cover going on the road and smashing, which the last one did. So to solder this on, I'm going to use these little sleeves that's got a wee bit of solder in the middle there. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to push this onto the wires first. I'll push these onto these wires first, slip it down, and then what I'll do is I'll slip it over. Once I've connected these up, I'll slip it over, and I'll solder that. I've also got, if you can see just here, I've got shrink wrap here. Push these out of the way, and I've got a big piece of shrink wrap there. I'll just pull that back over here once I've soldered, and we'll shrink wrap that on as well for extra safety. Okay, so to test which wire is which is the positive, which is the negative, I'm using my multimeter just here, and I've got the ignition on, and I've got the indicator switched over onto this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the common one to the frame somewhere like here, and then what I shall do is pop the, very hard to do this while you're filming, but so what I'm going to do is firstly I'm going to touch this one, and you'll see that that's digital multimeter is just going straight kind of to earth there. Don't know if you can see that or not, but whereas when you touch this one, you can see that this is the, I don't know if you can see that, guys. You see how that's clicking over there, and it's clicking over in time with the pulsing of the indicator. So we know that this wire is positive, and we know that that's the ground one. So make sure before you try and pop them together that the little soldering strip here is on the wire. Then we're going to fasten them together, slip this over, and then we're going to heat that up. Right, so if you can see, I've pushed this connector up, and the solder is between the two wires that I've fixed together there. So all I'm going to do in a second is I'm going to get my heat gun, just a heat gun, and I'm going to have it on the lowest setting, and I'm going to carefully run the heat gun over it until that solder melts onto there. What I'm going to do though is, because we've got a bit of heat generated here, I'm just going to put a little like spatula type thing at the back of it, just to stop any heat damage on any of the parts. Right, so it's just about impossible to hold this little spatula to stop getting heat damage, and then and heat shrink that on. But if you look, you can see where that's been pushed on. If you look here, you can see where this has melted. All you've got to look for is just look for the solder either side there running, and then that's got it. Next thing what I'll do is, I've got the shrink wrap just here, and what I'll do is I'll pull that over there as well, and then I'll shrink wrap that onto there, and I'll get back to you in a second. So as you can see, that's shrink wrapped on there nicely. I would have liked to have shown me doing this, but trying to hold the spatula, hold the heat gun and everything like that, and film at the same time is kind of near impossible. So on with the next one, and then to solder that in and shrink wrap it, remembering to put the little solder strip on this before you start, and before you get all this fastened together. So carefully concentrate on the bit where the solder is, and wait until you see the solder. Okay, just doing it there. Okay, so you can see the solder there is melted, and that's held that together. Okay, so I'm going to get the shrink wrap up there and on. So, piece of reinforcing shrink wrap going on here. Just hold it all together. Because we've just got to be careful here that we don't melt other things. Make sure that hold it like the thing, just be careful. Keep putting your heat gun away as well. So, that. Okay, so before we go any further, I've plugged the bulb in there. I've got the ignition on, and I've got the indicator switch on, so you can see that it's actually working quite the thing. So I'll get it into the housing in a second, and we'll put this little retaining strap on here as well. So with this kit that came from China, I got the two new sorry, can't hardly see that. Two new indicator covers here, and I also got two brand new mirrors as well. Got two brand new mirrors as well. Now they're just on here with 8mm bolts, two 8mm bolts on there, and that's what holds them on. But to be honest with you, these mirrors are absolutely fine, and I'm going to save these ones. For if I get any breakages in future. Also, I've got these little angled mirrors here that I like on, and they're stuck on. So if I pull them off, I'll not get them back on unless I buy some new ones. Okay, so I've got the retaining strap fastened, so it doesn't. If that comes off in future, it hangs by that, and hopefully it doesn't break this time. So what I'm going to do is, you can see the lugs on here. These little lugs, there's three little lugs on there, and they actually go into where these clips are. Now, what I suggest you do is you get a pair of long nose pliers, needle nose pliers, and you kind of squeeze them together a wee bit, both on all of them, okay, because they can get a wee bit loose. And then when we put them in, all we're doing is we're just lining this up. Make sure that your plastic is in properly. There's like a little I don't know, see if you can see that little peg there. Just make sure that that's on there as well. Alright, so it goes in nicely. And just clip that in. Same at the bottom, there's a little lug just there. If you look, just make sure that that's in as well. Actually, it goes into here, slides onto that there. So that little lug there, you can see it. That little lug there, just there, slides into that there to hold it nicely. So I'll get that together, and I shall just tap that on, and then I shall show you the finished results. So as you can see, Seems to be working okay. Would have been, they're not fitting perfect, but it's a Chinese product that I think they cost £121 for the pair with the mirrors, and then £35 for the wiring loom as well. I don't know what that is translated into dollars, so you're going for what, 150, 160 pounds, you know, 160, $70, something like that. So that one's on there, that's working quite the thing. And other side's the same. Okay guys, so thanks a lot. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.